I'd like to welcome to our show Mr. John Aker. He is the owner and president of CAM Real Estate Development. Thank you so much for coming to our show this morning.
Thank you, Brunel. Thanks for having me.
Well, we are so excited to have you. For one reason, we want to get into the whole lead argument with Pat. That's always fun.
Okay.
But before we go there, I did want to ask you, we were talking earlier in the show about Rochester being a primarily, pretty much a stable market here for real estate. And, the economy being top 20 in the nation. That's good news. Very good. Very good. That's very good news. And from your perspective as a real estate development company, do you see that this market is prime for development of real estate?
I think we have a lot to offer in the means of having a lot of stuff here for kids and families. So as far as to develop more here, I would say yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, with the real estate development, are we talking about flipping homes? Are we talking about making homes available for rent? Are we talking about developing new apartment complexes?
Well, a lot of people are trying to flip the homes now with a lot of foreclosures going on. They want to buy them, get in there, put in a new kitchen, bath, fix them up in the inside, and try to turn them over to flip them to make a profit.
Is that still a viable opportunity? Because for a while there, they were saying, right, Pat, that the whole house flipping thing was just not what it was cracked up to be. Like you see on TV, these guys go in and gut a place and make 300% on their money, and right?
Right, but the thing is the television programs don't really show that. What really happens, there's a lot of hard work involved in getting the house. After you get the house, you have to do all the work. A lot of people thought they're just going to go in, buy the house, go in for a couple days, and turn 300% profit, which is not going to work.
Not happening. That's real work, and you can't hire it out either. So, or you're really not going to flip it.
Right. If you're not doing it yourself, you're not going to make the profit.
You got to hire Alex, our girl over there.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the hookup at the home center.
That just pops a lot of stuff into my head that really shouldn't be here on Saturday mornings. You know what I mean? Just short circuits up there. So let's move on. John, do you have anything you specialize in particular, or you just run the gamut and all kinds of good stuff?
I'm a general contractor.
Okay.
So I do quite a bit of everything. I have 4 full-time men that work for me.
Okay.
Plus a girl in the office. And we do anything from kitchens, baths, additions, rehabs, lead abatement, interim control of lead.
Okay.
I work with a lot of organizations. Interim control of lead.
What does that mean?
That means that it's not where you're abating the lead. You're just doing an interim control, meaning that you're covering it up for a time period, so it's safe, but it's not safe for 20 years like you would with lead abatement.
You're masking the problem.
Right.
That's cool.
Correct.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay.
Maybe now is not a bad time to get right into the lead issue. New York State has passed a lead law.
Yes,
you want to
April.
tell us a little bit about that?
In April, they passed a law that they're trying to make, we're trying to make Monroe County lead-free. And the means of that, everybody had to go back and be recertified for renovation and remodeling and painting. So every one of my employees have done that.
Yep. At a nice cost to you.
Yeah, of course.
As the general contractor,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
Okay. And of course, you have to pass that on to the consumer, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's just getting that. I just wanted to make sure I was getting it clear. Now, going back to the lead, do you guys, I thought I read back in April, May, sometime that law was put aside.
They pushed it out further. Yes,
okay.
It was. They pushed it out further. I think they got it out till, the end of December here or January.
Okay.
But they still want everybody to be certified and get the certifications done so they can put this all into effect.
Okay.
Another part of that law was that when you do work in a home now, you have to have this pamphlet that you have to give to every one of your customers to read it, look at it, understand it, answer any questions that they have, and then they sign the back of it.
Yeah.
And that kind of protects you.
Now, this pamphlet we're talking about is called Renovate Right, and it's important lead hazard information for families and child care providers and schools.
Correct.
So it's very detailed information about renovating, repairing, and painting, and all the facts about lead that you have to be aware of as a homeowner or a tenant when you're having work done in your home. This is very interesting to me. I was reading a statistic that over 300 children in the Rochester area were diagnosed with lead poisoning in just the last year alone.
Yes, yes.
That's an alarming number. Now,
Yes,
if you look to my left and you see my very my very close relative, you can see how damaging lead poisoning can be.
It's not the swollen head, is it?
The
Just the
swollen
bobbling.
head,
The bobbling of
the
it.
tongue,
Yeah, the tongue.
the
Yeah.
inability to keep yourself in check,
The short-term memory loss,
short-term memory loss,
long-term memory loss,
twitching.
twitching.
No, it's really not a joke, but
Right.
But the joke is that Pat really doesn't understand or believe in the whole lead, because he's worked in it. He's renovated homes himself.
Right.
He's, and he doesn't seem to think that it's been a problem, and he thinks that the state is taking things just a little too far and making it almost impossible on the contractor, and then again, passing it on to the consumer, that this is going to be, a big disaster. What are they going to fine a contractor $33,000 a day or something if they
Right.
Per
yes.
occurrence.
if they're in
Yes.
violation?
If they're in violation, correct.
I mean-
That's why everybody has to be certified. As me as a New York State lead supervisor, I got to be recertified every 3 years.
What do you do
Yeah.
as the supervisor?
Yeah, do explain what that position is, please.
Supervisor gives me, I control the job. I have to be within 50 miles of the job. So if there's any problems, if anything comes up, I got to make sure that they're doing the containment right. I got to make sure that if they're putting down the poly on the floors, I got to make sure that they're enclosing a room with plastic. Okay.
That's for CAM Real Estate Development Company? Or?
Yes, that's for CAM Real Estate.
Okay.
These are rules I have to follow being the lead supervisor.
Okay. I thought all the contracting organizations had to do that.
Well, they should.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah. Well, this also leads me to my next thought is that also adds an extra cost that's passed on to the consumer as well, because you have to actually you've got more man hours involved.
Sure,
Here.
it becomes labor intense.
Exactly. The containment, the abatement, all this crap, it just starts getting really expensive, and you've got to pass it along. You can't
Right.
absorb that, or you're going to
Right.
go. You might as well sleep in the morning, right?
Right.
Why have a job? So, I just, to me, it's just a little bit. It doesn't make sense. And then I wanted to go back to this pamphlet that you were generously offering to show us that all the your customers have to, read, and then they have to sign. Yeah. That, to me, that just scares them. Yeah. See, they implemented these lead laws, these forms that you had to sign when I was selling homes. I was working as a real estate agent, and that just started scaring the consumer. You had to actually, you have to tap dance around it, and it just creates another barrier with the consumer.
Right, and this is coming to law, and what the problem with that is, you're right. What you give this to one of your clients, and they read this, and they're like, "Oh my God!"
Exactly.
What are you doing to my house? What are we doing?
Yep.
And then they have in there, if you don't think they're doing it right, then call this number.
Yeah, holy
cow. And that's where it puts you in that position of being fined.
Yes, and then it's going to cause another web of mess. Really, I mean, I'm speechless because I don't even know how to form the. You know what I mean? Because it's just such a topic I can't grasp. It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's been mandatory. I have to have that be in business.
That's right.
Let's get back to the consumer,
me off too.
though. Here's a consumer who lives in a home built before 1978, right? Small children.
Right.
And any fly-by-night contractor can come in, and if they're not aware of this situation and of the dangers of disturbing lead-based paint, and they don't get this pamphlet, and turns out their children get sick, I mean, that's a whole nother expense to the community, if you will.
And I'm sure that happens a lot.
Okay, good point. Yeah, the kids get sick, but I've done a lot.
I mean, imagine if your parents would have actually taken you in to be lead tested, the amount it would have cost them to fix you.
Yeah, if there's anything that could have been
fixed.
And then
if you don't have any insurance, it's back on the state, right?
That's true, true.
Right. This is real serious stuff we like to laugh about, folks, here on Property Source Radio. 222-6397 is our number over here. We are live. We're visiting with John Aker of CAM Real Estate Development, and he is a certified lead supervisor for the state. He also specializes in commercial, residential, remodeling, renovations, all kinds of good stuff. So if you have any questions, please give us a call. We'll be right back.